is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Leading them out, one of the all-time greats. Hard to believe in his 17th season now, Drew Brees.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Brees to throw on second down. And it's caught. Coby Fleener. Brees finding Fleener for New Orleans first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
Quarterback Drew Brees and head coach Sean Payton understand the passing game as well as anyone in the NFL, which led to a rating last year of #1 in passing and #1 in total overall offense. But the thing that they really do well is get the ball downfield. They understand holes in defenses, find receivers that way. But what they need to add, the running game, back to their mix. When they went to the Super Bowl and won it, they were #6 in the NFL. Last season, #16.
On second down, here's Brees. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And let's run through the Dolphins' defense.
You and I both know that different schools have different reputations for positions. You know, this one's DBU and this one's wide receiver U. Missouri's starting to be known as defensive end U. Charles Harris, the #22 pick in the 2017 draft for Miami. Consistent pressure, just like many of those players who came before him at Missouri.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Brees. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Saints were the best team in the NFL on 3rd down last year. 49% conversion rate. Helps when you have Drew Brees back there.
It certainly does, because he is just so analytical in everything he does. Goes through every progression on every snap in practice, so not much surprises him on game day.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now Breeze on the bootleg. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Awfully nice to see Adrian Peterson back and running well. Look, it was just 2015 when he won his last rushing title. Got hurt in 2016, and that season became a bit of a wash.
Yeah, it did become. Hoping to get back to that old form that you're alluding to, though. He does have 3 rushing titles, including that one you mentioned in 2015. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, Peterson. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Andre Branch. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. So here are the Dolphins now as they'll be backed up to start this first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. Now a play fake here on first down. And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. Last year, New Orleans dead last, number 32 in passing defense. Something that was exploited game after game. You know, though, those guys are tired of hearing about it. Now they just want to fix it.
And you fix it with players playing better. We know that. But also you fix it with scheme. You look at what you have and say, can we play the style that we played in 2016? And you and I both know the New Orleans defensive staff. They like to be aggressive. They like to be...
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll look to throw here. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
In his third year now, here's the punter, Matt Darr, to kick this away as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. A reminder, later tonight, the Colts, they'll be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And then Monday night, it's the Redskins getting a second straight night game as they'll head down to Arrowhead to take on KC. We're in October already. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. This one's moving fast.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. They start the drive with Peterson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Again, Peterson. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. When you and I did the weekly commentary updates last year, it seemed like we always used to talk about Michael Thomas week after week.
And it piled up. 92 catches on the season, but the thing that really struck me was doing a New Orleans game and talking with a few of his teammates who talked about how much the game meant to him. And he was upset with guys he didn't think cared about the game enough. Unusual for a rookie, but it's a good sign for him.
Breeze now on first down. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense. That fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw is Breeze. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, it's Breeze. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Breeze going to throw. And he's got Snead. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
After reviewing the play, the rule on the field is reversed.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Breeze to throw again. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Breeze. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On third down, here's Williams. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Matt Darr now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we will send you back stateside to Orlando and say hello to Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. Both the Dolphins and the Saints have very low rushing totals. It has not been an effective part of either team's game plan, and you wonder if either side will give a more concerted effort to run it in the second half. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Now midway through the second, Snead's wide open here on the catch, and he ends up at their own 49-yard line. So that'll do it from here in the good old U.S. of A. Let's get back over to London as we rejoin Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going,
looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. A first NFL pick by the rookie Marshawn Lattimore. And that interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
and you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he... gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And that'll make it 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
Pass interference. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now.
They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. And the play clock's running down.
Back to the NFL. Here we go.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That good for 22 and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Julius Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Andre Branch in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Welcome back now here in London. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. On on second down. Here's Breeze. Fuller brings it in over the middle. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can right foot in there, and they were able to successfully complete it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Andre Branch in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So now here come the Dolphins. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Forced out to his left. Now got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Julius Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Franks to add the PAT. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Breeze to throw on second down. Caught right side. It's Snead. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
The Saints on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw, Breeze. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To throw is Breeze. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Breeze. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Breeze to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints are back within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they got their touchdown. Now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Second down following the run. Again, it's Williams. And he's got room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the Saints signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On second down, Williams. Whoosh. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
In the red zone this time. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Dolphins, That early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin.